It's Uncle Destiny back with you. It's time to get the month reading for March out of the way and see what the ancestors have to say. Apologize for some delays with the videos and so forth. It's been a busy last few weeks here. So hopefully we'll be back on schedule for a few more things soon as well. So let's go ahead and see what the ancestors have to say. Alright, and here we have the throw for what the ancestors have and the spirits have to say. And we've got a few bones that did go off the reading surface, so we're not going to be able to reading for those. But we're going to start with the ones that we have here. Now this one, it seems a bit more scattered, but I sense there's much more to this than meets the eye. So let's start with our primary ones. We have this bone that's up here. This one is work. This one is family. So the bulk of March is going to be very much about family, since this is not only the center bone, but it is one with the greatest number of things going on around it. So let's just start briefly. Work bone is going to keep going. It's going to be kind of insular. It's going to be by itself. It's kind of, I wouldn't say it's floating away, but it's not going to be your biggest focus during the month of March. It's going to be going on. It's going to have your needs to work on it, but it's, again, not going to be the biggest thing you're focusing on. The biggest thing you're going to be focusing on is family. Now, this can take many forms when it comes to family, whether it is developing a project with a family member, whether it's making sure, say, someone's going through a medical procedure, such as, if someone's getting their knee replaced, they're going to be off their feet for the next several weeks while their knee heals and then it gets functional. So it is not going to be a negative family experience. It is going to be difficult. It is going to be trying, but it is a family experience that can bond you and bring you together. It may even be that there's going to be a trip or planning a family trip, something that has not been common in the family. Now, when we look at some of the more individual things, again, we've got the family bone, and we've got a bunch of the support bones all around it, and we do have the broken rib bone here. It is striated, but it's also focused outward. So right now, I'd say that any anger or angst or any of those emotions that come up are going to be focused outwardly. And that's probably better because it's not being affected towards the family. This is actually kind of supported by the shell here because it is it's on its back, or we have the outside of it. So again, it's about the defense to the outside. So there is going to be both, for lack of a better word, the sword and the shield are at play in protecting the family. Now that can also mean issues with people coming as accusers, but I don't really feel like it's going to be a lot of that. It could be just the ins and outs of the arrangements that have been made, even legal issues, such as who is actually taking care of certain finances or who have forgotten to take care of certain finances. And that's just going to create problems because now governmental entities are going to be looking at you more closely, and you don't want that. Then so you've got to have your defenses for that, and in that regard, it's going to be about how family may be necessary in helping fix the problem. All right, so let's move into our other ones. We've got the quartz and the copper piece. Now they are sort of trailing off here, but they are still flowing into and out of the central aspect of family here. So there's going to be a lot of issues of memories coming up. I would know, again, always I'm getting the sense that they're going to be a positive ones, but it's understanding those memories, putting them in the right perspective and the right context. Because a memory can be both and. It can be negative, it can be positive. It can be something that we're fearing, and it can be something that we're joyful about. But it is the context and the intent that we look at that memory. And that's important for the information that's going to be coming in here around family. Equally so, when we look at the copper piece, we've got spirit is all very much supportive, and the fact that there's a support bone next to it is also key. So it is strongly wanting to support family and the goals that are being worked on in this time. There is a greater issue of connection. The fact that the copper piece and the quartz piece are so close to each other and in position, I suspect there is an aspect of this that is about our deeper connection which we have through our families to spirit. And again, this is also families of blood as well as families of soul, spirit, or intention. We have more than one family we deal with. So it's going to be very much about that flow into things, which brings us again back to also to this other piece, the top of the spinal column, which can also look like a piece of the pelvis, but in this case it is still looking much more like a spinal piece. So we're very much in the flow and energy of the mind, of the thoughts, of the actions. And what we do in the family is going to be both a matter of how we act and how we respond to the difficulties that are before us. So be more open to that. Be more in an aspect of what are we doing to heal? What are we doing to sustain and support us all, but without necessarily our detriment? So there becomes that aspect of how can memory, or our thoughts and actions, our memories, and our connection with spirit work together to support us in family. So, yeah, this next month is much more about the sense of family and your structure there. How do we support? How do we support? How do we push things forward? How do we sustain each other? But we do it in such a way that is also about healing us, not about dividing us. So this is Uncle Destiny for you. I hope you all have a good March coming up, which is also going to be the spring equinox. And may we move into a brighter year and day and seasonal year as we move into the sense of being able to heal and grow from these difficult and dark times. And we may need to begin with our family of blood and of choice. So, Uncle Destiny, on behalf of all the spirits, Ashe.